This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi. Hey, it's really nice to see you today. It's January 17th, 2012. I'm just laughing because, the board is going up with your calls. I take calls on air. And Sam just said, Squirrel Lady's on. Remember the Squirrel Lady? She says one of her squirrels is mad at her. You can bet I'm going to call on Squirrel Lady. Oh, I love to start a show like this. You know, I just love your calls. I love your calls. You're also fascinating in your own ways, which fits right in today because the topic is, why are so many people in the world insane? I'm going to talk about ideas about how to change this for ourselves and others, because I'm not saying that we're sane. We may all be insane, but it's a fascinating topic, I think, and very relevant. Before we get into that, as you know, I do talk to callers online, on air here rather, and look into you. I look into people in your life, dead or alive. I look into situations in your life. I look into people because I'm a mind reader. I can tell you what they're thinking and feeling, which is very helpful if you have trouble with people. Does anybody out there have trouble with people? And I even look into squirrels. Yes, I do. I look into animals of all kinds. I look into anything. I've even looked into rocks and bugs. Why not? I give it all a whack and a try here. So the number, if you want to talk to me today, is 1-877-230-3062. This is for all countries. Again, the number is 1-877-230-3062. And why would you want to talk to me? I always like to give a little testimonial at this point so you know that I know my business. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for, oh my gosh, so many years. It's embarrassing all the number of years I've been doing this kind of work. Here's one from Rita. Hi, Venus. I spoke with you at the end of October. I think this might have been on the radio. It might have been a personal phone reading. I can't remember at the moment. She said, I asked you to look into my husband. He was going to the doctor because he's been losing weight and he's been depressed. You told me you saw him slumped over and asked me if he was constipated, which indeed he was. Oh my, don't call me unless you want to hear the truth. You also thought his tiredness was heart-related and also that he does not eat properly. He finally went to the doctor, and he did see a cardiologist. They ran more tests, and one of the tests showed slight regurgitation with one of his heart valves. The thing that concerned the doctor the most was his heart rate. It was very low, and as we age, our heart rates get slower, so she wants him to make sure he comes back if it gets any slower, and he starts to feel lightheaded or dizzy. She also referred him to a nutritionist, because why? Because, like I said, he doesn't eat properly. She goes on, being a typical male, he thought he knew everything. He has basically been starving himself by not eating enough. His body had forgotten how to be hungry. There have been days where he didn't eat breakfast, didn't eat lunch, and then didn't feel like eating dinner, so he didn't eat all day. So now that he has received his nutrition education, he's trying to get healthier, and I'm trying to make him eat more. He's becoming more regular. I'm not sure if she means constipation-wise or not, and he's putting on a few pounds. Then in dark letters she says, you were right on all counts. And don't I like to hear that? You know how I am. I like to be right, don't we all? She goes on, it was really his heart, and his constipation made him even more depressed. He even seems a little more upbeat now and has more energy now that he's eating better. Thank you so much for pointing us in the right direction. He does still, however, think it was all his own idea. Ha! Happy New Year, Rita. That's funny. Well, you know how I am. I put things in people's heads. Only with permission, of course. But we're here to talk about something else today. Let me see. I got an email from somebody else that started this off. Let me find it here. Oh, well, it's more a compendium of things. I was thinking one day, and I was putting stuff on my fan page on Facebook, and people were answering me, and I think I put something like, we're all so primitive. And I said, if we fed our people well and kept them busy, loved and appreciated, then we'd need few prisons. Instead, all the money we could spend to make people well and happy is spent on housing and abusing prisoners. How dumb is this? And then I said, okay, I know it's all about power and who has the money and who gets the money and making war, not about the right and common sense things to do. And then I added, the more primitive people are in control of the planet. I was on a roll that day. And I was also thinking about all the people who are mentally and emotionally and physically unstable. I mean, a lot of prisoners are. People who go to prison. I often think that these people were born with problems, issues, because they got them in the womb. A mother's not eating right, or things happening to them, doing drugs or whatever. Or some of us are born with a greater need for certain vitamins, minerals, etc., and we can be really crazy without them. You know, schizophrenia, I think that has a lot to do with a certain B vitamin. You need massive amounts of it. I know that in my life, I need a lot of extra B vitamins. I just have a need for it. And, you know, you hear a lot about my brother Jim, mainly through my blogs. He goes up and down, woo, like a yo-yo. He's just like, he's a double Leo, but his moods are just woo, woo. Jim is darling, and he's so much fun, and I get so much good material for my blogs from him. But, you know, he's got a need for something he's not getting. Nobody's been able to figure out what. And my family's loaded with anxieties and obsessions and all kinds of odd things. And, you know, I think there's just a need for certain elements, and we're not getting them. So it can make people crazy, or what we call insane. I honestly don't think people are insane or animals. I think it's not our faults. I think we're lacking something. I've seen it happen in my own family. One of my own family members got really paranoid. She was scaring the wits out of me. She thought people were following her, all kinds of things. It freaked me out. And I felt it was a thyroid issue. And as soon as she got help with that, she was fine. I had a brother who was getting really paranoid. And I think he's got thyroid issues, which means he needs more thyroid and probably some other things. So there's a long list. Anyway, so we have a lot of people in control who are just mentally disadvantaged, or they want power and glory, and they've got big egos for all kinds of reasons. And again, I don't like to judge people. I think we're all God having experiences, although it's sometimes very hard not to judge, as you know. But I just look at the world as like it's gone even crazier than it's ever been. Maybe yes, maybe no. We certainly know everything now because of the internet, etc., and technology. And a lot of people think, oh, 2012 is all going to change. We're going to have 1,000 years of peace. We're all going to be running around with daisies in our hands, bowing to each other and cooing. Well, I'm not convinced of that. Maybe more people will become more conscious and aware, and we can go from there. We can hope for that, but we'll see what happens. Here's something else I put on the fan page when I was on this long roll here. I said, wait a second, where did I put this? I just thought of another reason why fast food is bad for us. Deranged people often go to fast food places and randomly shoot as many people as they can. Most recently, it was an IHOP. This is weird, don't you think? Even cars crash into the fast food places and nail people. It somehow seems outside the laws of chance. But how or why? It's odd. And there's a fellow named Jerry Donut. Don't you love his name? That's on Facebook a lot on my fan page. And he said all of this reminds him of the tornado trailer park syndrome. I think what he meant by that was when I lived personally on an air base in Arkansas many years ago, my Summer's dad was in the Air Force, and so we lived on an air base in Arkansas, and we lived in a little flimsy house in the housing development for all the Air Force people, and we had tornadoes all the time, but no basements and no place to go. And I always thought, are these people insane? You would think, knowing that they always get tornadoes and they take out trailer parks and they take out housing developments like this, why don't you at least have a basement or some place to go? But no, doesn't this make you think people are insane? People don't have common sense, as I'm always saying. common sense is more rare than genius. Anyway, and then somebody named David was saying on Facebook, and for a while it was fashionable to go postal at the office. Makes me think nobody should be imprisoned in a cubicle from 9 to 5 being baked by fluorescent lighting. And he's absolutely right. You know, I had a job once, and when I first started teaching, I was very young. And at that time, team teaching was very popular. And they'd put a whole bunch of teachers and a ton of kids in the same room. It was a big room, but I worked in this big circular school, and they didn't believe in lighting. They didn't believe in windows and outdoor lights, so we had no windows. I think there was one window in the door, and it was dark blue, so you couldn't see out, or purple or something. I tell you what, I almost went insane. They had all this fluorescent lighting and air conditioning pumped on all the time and everybody talking all at once. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I didn't last long in teaching. I just can't handle it. I think that's why I work for myself, because I have to do things my own way. If I think ways are stupid, I just can't go along with it. When I was remodeling my house a number of years ago here in Southern California, I wanted to put in some new windows, and they told me I had to put in windows, what do you call them? They were darkened, so it wouldn't let in the sun, so it would keep the heat inside or something. And I said, are you crazy? I said, this is Southern California. The sun pours into here. We need the sun to keep it warm. I don't want windows I can't see out of. And then I found out the man whose brilliant idea it was, and I called him up at the county, and I just said, are you the man that put this idea together that we all have to use these tinted windows? Oh, yes, I am. And he was so proud of himself. Well, I let him have it. We got into a terrible brawl. But that's why I think people are insane. So, ideas. Okay, if people had splendid health, we would all live better lives and get rid of most of the prisons and many other institutions. Like I said, you know what? We can make it simple. We talked about diet a few weeks ago, and your ideas may be different from mine, and that's okay, because you know how I feel about diets. They're always, a lot of them are pretty extreme. You have to pick your way through them and choose what's right for you. But what I'm liking right now is the idea of bone soups. You get all the minerals from the bones. Put a little vinegar in the broth you're making and cook it all day in the crock pot. Put vegetables in it. Meat with the bone in. If you're going to eat meats, grass-fed is best. And, there's a lot of people who are vegans or vegetarians. That's fine with me. But maybe one of your issues is that you don't like what happens to farm-raised animals. They're farmed very badly, and they live horrible, terrible lives, and there's a lot of abuse and pain, and I agree. But the more we eat grass-fed animals, pastured animals, chickens that run free, eggs, like that, the happier a life the animals have, the better their lives become. So, that's something to think about. Sprouted seeds, beans, grains, fermented foods, no sugar, no vegetable oils except olive oil. Canola is a really bad oil. If you don't believe me, Google it. Just keep Googling. You'll see how it's made. We've been sold a bill of goods. Same thing with soybeans. Unless they're fermented, don't eat them. Again, I don't have time to convince you. Google all this stuff. Some people think you shouldn't eat grains except white rice unless they're sprouted because they have plant poisons. That's up to you. I'm iffy on that one. I eat sprouted bread. I think I need grains for the B vitamins. But there's a lot of controversy. They say wheat especially can cause autoimmune diseases, cancers, all kinds of things. So, again, it's a minefield out there. You need to choose for yourself. And then let's make our vitamins and minerals real simple, too. I'm one to talk. You ought to see my cupboards. I would be so embarrassed for you to see everything I have there. Tons and tons of stuff. Periodically, I go through and bag everything up and toss it. But I read to you a few weeks ago from the Perfect Health book. And again, other people will tell you many other things. You have to decide. Personally, I've lost interest in extreme diets and extremes in most things. I got to tell you, I saw this fellow the other day in town. I've known him for many years, and he's a vegan. They don't eat much of anything. And he's always looked really yellow, and he's all bony and skinny, and he's just not healthy. And he had a friend with him who looked even worse than this guy did. Oh, my gosh. The guy was skinny, bony, yellow, little beady eyes staring at me. He couldn't hardly talk. And I wanted to grab both of them up under their their clavicles that were sticking out and just yank them up in the air and say, get some nutrition in your bodies. But, of course, you can't say that to people. You can't say that because I think people who do these things are obsessive and they're zealots, and I should know because I've done them. But I have a sister that says, you, Venus, you go way out there a whole lot in all different ways. She said, but you always come back to normal. Thank you, God. But, yes, I know all about zealotism. That's what I call it. Okay, perfect health diet. They suggest for perfect health you take a multiple vitamin, a vitamin D and vitamin K2, because these two reduce mortality and they extend life. Selenium and iodine, not the iodine you put on your cuts, folks. You find iodine in kelp and various seaweeds, etc. It improves well-being and cancer prevention. Also, magnesium, copper, chromium, prevents cardiovascular problems. Vitamin C, I take tons of vitamin C. Tons, thousands of units every day. And it builds collagen. I think it's had a lot to do with keeping wrinkles away. My skin is like 1,000% better than most people's. I mean, I didn't even start getting any until 25 years past most people. So hit the vitamin C. And again, specialized diseases may need other or extra large amounts of these and other various nutrients. And of course, I buy and eat local, organic produce whenever I can. Whenever I can. Let's see what time it is. I timed it just right, totally by accident. It's break time. Let me just read you a couple more things and then we'll go to a break. Okay? Let's see. Okay, this is about the free MP3 mojo I have on my website. If you don't have that, it's called Everything is Always Okay. You can go to my website and pick that up, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Look for the blue headphones, and that's where you pick it up. You can find a lot of other mojos there, but they're for sale, but they're cheap. Anyway, this lady says, I just want to say your free Mojo MP3, Everything is Okay, is amazing. It has the perfect combination of gentle music, your comforting words, mojo blasting, and energies. I don't feel energies, but I have set it on repeat on my computer speakers right now, and I feel so peaceful, so good. Another lady said, named Angela, I was trying to listen to the recent mojos I downloaded. I didn't have my headphones plugged in the correct port. Therefore, everyone at the diner received the lucky you mojo. Ha 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 ha. Well, let's hope they were all lucky. I bet they were surprised. All right, let's go for a short break, and I'll be back to take your calls, and for sure we're going to talk to the squirrel lady to see why her squirrel's mad at her. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Do you know that all of the Dear Venus shows are archived? You can listen to them anytime. To find the Dear Venus Show with Venus Andrecht on iTunes Podcasts, the archived shows, or to have the current show emailed to you each week, go to Venus's website at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Click on the radio section on the homepage. That's all there is to it. You can have Venus with you anytime, all the time. You may start to feel like she's moved in with you. You can find her archived shows at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com in the radio section on the homepage.
Would you like to have Venus's great mojo energy in your home all the time, influencing and helping you in many ways? Well, you can have that energy. Venus puts good mojo into every painting she creates, and when you purchase one of her paintings, at your request, she'll put in an extra special mojo just for you. She'll write your mojo onto the back of the picture and sign the painting to you from her. To see Venus's work, prices, and how to request your personal mojo, please go to artmojos.com. That's ARTMOJOS.com. You'll feel better just looking at the mojo-filled artwork on her site. Try it and see. artmojos.com.
You know what Venus's mojos are. They are the benevolent energies her mother taught her to pull from the universe. the good energy mojos of all different kinds that help people in all different ways. Venus gathers these energies up from the universe and tosses various ones to all of you each week on this radio show. On her website, Venus has 8 more pretty impressive mojos that have garnered many happy testimonials. Mojos that she has taped with extra added energy and had them each set to special music and turned into MP3s. You can purchase these MP3s off Venus's website for a nominal fee and listen to them over and over again. Venus currently has a special running on all 8 mojos for $20 off. You can find these mojos on Venus's website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. And there are more unique mojos coming as MP3s, so be sure and check back off into Venus's site, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com.
Did you know that Venus does private phone sessions where she digs into the problems or concerns you have with people in your life? These issues can be with men, women, or children, and they can be dead or alive. Venus works to give you a better understanding of what people are thinking about you and your problems. By doing this, she gives you knowledge and peace of mind. Venus also works to help change situations and bring good things into your life after each phone session. After the clock is turned off, Venus does something extra special for you. She asks the high beings to bring through a personal mojo, just for you. Something they feel you may need in your life to make things better. For Venus's rates, how she works, and to set up a session, please go to GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. That's GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. If you really want and need to know about someone or something, email Venus now.
Listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, welcome back. Okay, next show. Next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, of course, I have live shows, but they're all archived, as you know. I archive them on my fan page on Facebook, and they're archived a lot of different places. Just go to CTR Radio to find out. Next show, Dead Celebrity. I'm going to talk to a dead celebrity. Who will it be? I don't know. I'll be waiting to see who pops in this week who wants to have a chat with me. And it's always fun and interesting. I'm always surprised, and I think you are too. So January 24th, 2012 for that. And tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and every Wednesday, until I collapse, I guess, I have a new blog that comes out. It's all about my true personal life and people in it. And as I like to say, my family signing up just to protect themselves. The title tomorrow is, Are You As Odd As I Think You Are? And it's about what some of my family has said to me lately about how they see me. I was kind of surprised and not always happy. And so I talk about that. And to find the blogs, just go to GodIsAlwaysHappy.com/blog. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com/blog. And while you're there, you can sign up. So they'll pop up every Wednesday, hopefully to give you a good laugh or whatever. Just look up to the top of the page on the right. There's something orange that says feed. You just fill that in. All right. And what I'm doing, too, is in the comments section, which I'm still working on getting finished or revamped so it works, every month I do choose a comment or so, whatever strikes me, from the comments, and I give the person a free 10-minute phone session with me. And I love your comments. I read them all. Sometimes I even answer. All right, let's look here. We're going to go to work now, or I'm going to go to work. And guess who's up first? As I promised, we're going to talk to the Squirrel Lady. Squirrel Lady, are you there?
Hi, Venus.
Hey, I just love to talk to you. It's been a long time. I think we started talking when I was host at Hay House, and you had a constipated squirrel. Wasn't that when we... Yes!
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, and what's happening today? The studio man said one of your squirrels is mad at you.
Well, now I've only got one, and her name is Sweet Pea, and
yes.
She's 5 years old. Well, right after Christmas, I was going to try to adopt a little handicapped squirrel from a rehabber we have here.
What's a handicapped squirrel?
Well, he had one arm, and his little legs didn't work well, and he had a partial tail. And he couldn't
What
be
happened
released.
to him? Do you know what happened to him?
She didn't know.
Okay.
But I was going to adopt him, and I knew it might have been a problem with Sweet Pea, and it was, and I had to give him back to the rehabber. But she is still mad at me.
How long has this been?
I took him home a couple days after Christmas, and I had to bring him back a few days after New Year's.
Okay, so what is she doing that makes you think she's mad?
Well, she's biting me.
Ah, okay.
And, I don't know. She bit this morning, not hard, but
has she been a biter? Has she been a biter before this?
No.
Okay. What's her name?
Sweet
Pea. That's right, Sweet Pea. All right, so let's. What'd you say, hon?
I've been in a tizzy. I've been in like a overload of adrenaline, and I know we talked about her and the feedback from me. So she's probably getting the circle of all this too.
She's what?
She's
what?
probably getting feedback from me being nervous also.
Oh, sure, I got it. All right, well, let's just check you girls out. I'm going to come into you first. Why don't you tell me how old you are, color of hair?
56, brownish gray.
Okay, and do you work? Do you have a job?
Yeah, I'm at a university. Okay,
at a university. All right. Okay, I'm going into your head. I'm hearing things like, and feeling things from you like, well, you're some friend, referring to the squirrel.
Oh, boy.
Like, biting your best friend was, biting the hand that feeds you, that kind of thing. What? Knock it off. I'm getting that. Okay, let me go talk to Squirrel here. Sweet Pea. Where does she hang out? Is she still in that drawer?
Oh, no, that was another one. She's probably hanging out on the porch right now.
Does she live inside, too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does she sleep with you?
She has her own room.
I was going to say, if she's biting and she's sleeping with you, you wouldn't be getting much rest. Okay, let's go find Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea. I hear you on the porch. I'm going to come and talk to you. I'm a friend of yours. I've talked to you before, and your mom says you're upset and you're biting her. Can you talk to me about this? Let me just go into her little head here. Sweet Pea, can I come in and be with you? Okay, I'm going to be a squirrel now. Not hard for me to do, right? Squirrel. Let me see. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Yeah, she really is mad. It's more along the lines of the word pissed off.
Yeah.
She hasn't peed anywhere in the house, has she?
Sure.
She has? Has that started since... Does she always do that, or has that just started?
You talking about tinkling in the house?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she has to, but usually she does it on the porch. But
all right, so she bites and tinkles in the house.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal. It's just a little spot.
Well, that's good to know. I like it. If they're gonna pee in the house, let it be a little spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to her. All right, Squirrel. So how did you feel? What was that other squirrel's name? Skipper. What about you and Skipper? She was trying to bring in Skipper so you'd have a companion and a friend. She says, I didn't like Skipper. I didn't need Skipper. I didn't want Skipper. I'm all she needs. I don't need a friend. And she's just like she's holding a grudge.
Yeah.
She's concerned that you might bring him back or bring another one in.
No, we won't anymore.
And she doesn't forget easily. She's very angry about this. She said something along the lines of she got rid of all the others, and now it's only me, and I like it being only me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do we have to do so you'll forgive your mom?
Tell her we won't try that again, and he's been gone for 2 weeks.
Okay. They're not going to bring Skipper back. The poor little handicapped squirrel had to be taken back. They're not going to bring Skipper back again. He had to go back to his poor little old life. I'm just telling her this because I think it makes her happy. And she's not going to bring any more squirrels in. Skipper's not coming back. And it's just you from now on. You've made your point. You can stop biting. Stop biting. Stop biting. If you keep biting, she's probably going to just put you outside. She might just put you outside and say, go find your own way. How would you like that? I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that.
She said that?
Well, that's the sense I get. She wouldn't like that.
Good. Well, tell her to behave, and she's with us forever.
Okay, so she wants you to feed her some treats.
Okay.
Do squirrels eat things like grapes?
they eat vegetables and fruits. She doesn't care for grapes too much, but she does like.
Well, I saw grapes, or she wants some special treat, something just for her. Like I saw peeled grapes. So maybe what that means is something made especially for her, put together especially for her.
Okay.
Maybe something that she really loves or even hasn't had before and she'd like to try. I think this is going to take some time until she gets over it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to try and get her over with it sooner. I've forgotten all about Skipper. He no longer exists. I've forgotten. All I think about is my mom. All I think about is my lovely home. I'm happy. I'm the only one here. I'm the only squirrel. She's like bounding in the air. I'm the only squirrel. Yippee! Lucky me! All right. That's about all I can do for a sweet pea. So it's going to take some time, but she just couldn't believe you did that.
Oh,
she doesn't have a generous nature, does she?
Well, I mean, she's lived with two others before, and
well, she's glad they're gone, you know.
Yeah, well,
I've
never had any others complain as much as she has about this.
Yeah, she's got you all to herself, and by golly, she wants to keep it that way, and so there you go.
Be nice to me then.
Well, and I feel like she's very finicky about who she likes and who comes over.
Yeah, well, you know, they're usually a one-person squirrel. You know, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know that. I have never had a one-person squirrel, but, you know.
Yeah, some dogs are like that, some cats are like that. And
yes. Well, you know, that could be kind of an attractive pet to have, a one-person squirrel.
Yeah.
And they only pee a little bit in the house. I like that even more.
Yeah, it's not really a problem at all.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling, and let us know how Squirrel does, how Sweet Pea does. She'll come out of it, but, you know, you have to distract her. She has to be distracted.
Okay. Well,
all right, darling,
check back with you and let you know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was lovely chatting.
Thanks, Venus. Bye.
All right, bye. Well, wasn't that fun? I had such a good time. I just love these kinds of things. All right, let's see. We've got a few minutes here before we go on to the break, so let me just chat about a little something else, because I'd hate to break up people that I'm reading. Let's see what I've got. I keep things in a pile here. Okay, this is something. I titled this Not So Lucky. Whoops. And I just hit my knee on the desk. Oh, we're off to a fine start. This lady says, Venus, I recently purchased the Lucky You Mojo. And as you know, I'm telling all of you, she didn't say this. The Lucky You Mojo is a really popular mojo. I hear all the time about all the luck it brings. But she says, it does seem that we are having some luck. However, it is not good luck. How long does it take for you to see some changes in your life with your mojos? We could sure use just a little help in this bad time. Our truck is broke again. We just spent $2,000 at Thanksgiving. We'll be taking it in tomorrow to see what is wrong now. My husband is going to have surgery on Thursday morning. I need some good things to happen in our life. Please help. Well, I understand how she feels. Don't we all feel this sometimes? You know, there's a lot of things that happen. There are things that are already set in motion, and you've got the law of cause and effect going. Like the truck already had an issue. It's not going to heal itself on the driveway because she got the Lucky You Mojo. But maybe she'll get a good man to work on it, or a good woman. Or maybe because the truck's in the shop, they'll learn about something else that will help them. Or, you know, you just never know. You have to look for your luck. And the husband already had a health issue before she got the Lucky Mojo. So what we try and do here is we try and turn the tide in a good way. Plus, there's a tide in the affairs of all men, that saying, and women. Is it astrological? We do what we can if the tide isn't so pleasant at some point. And you know, the tide is not always pleasant. And so with the mojos, what I try and do is bring in good energy, good forces for good luck, money, love, you know, whatever it may be, relaxed peace of mind. Oh, there's a bunch. You can check on my website. I have a number of mojos there for purchase. It's godisalwayshappy.com. godisalwayshappy.com. You can get your free mojo. You can see if you like them, although they're all different sounding. And then you can try a few or whatever you want to purchase. But I get so much mail about mojos. I know they work. Because my mother used to do them for us all the time. That's how I started doing them. And I promised today on the chat room here, we've got a lovely chat room. A lot of people over there. They're lots of fun. They really support each other. You got to check it out. And sometimes when I have a chance, I go over there and I work with the chat room too. Don't always have time, but I try and read everything at least. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, dear. Well, we were talking about insanity today, weren't we? Well, whatever it was, we have a chat room over there. And go over there and look around. Oh, I remember somebody in the chat room said, can we do a money mojo today? Because it seems like there's a lot of people worrying about money again. And so I'm going to do that. I'll do it after the break, sometime in between the readings. So be sure you come back. What we're going to do now is have a really short break. And I'll come back. Talk to you online, on air, rather. Do a mojo, maybe more. Who knows what we'll do. We'll be back in a moment. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
I'm Venus's daughter, Summer McStravick, and I hope you can join me for my online radio show, Flow Dreaming. Visit my website, flowdreaming.com, for all the dates and times it plays. That's Flow Dreaming. I hope to see you there.
Where soul meets body.
Become a power manifester with Summer McStravick's complete Flow Dreaming Library CD set. Finally, here is a real practical technique that you can do in 15 minutes a day to activate the law of attraction in your life. No meditation, no long learning curve. Summer shows you how to easily start rewriting your energy patterns now. Go to flowdreaming.com to listen to actual excerpts of the CDs as you become a power manifester. Visit flowdreaming.com.
You can reach Venus for your own private reading by visiting GodIsAlwaysHappy.com and using the contact form to reach Venus. You can also enter to win a free psychic reading with Venus by signing up for her blog or newsletter at GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Venus draws winners' names each week. Plus, you can follow her very interesting life. That's GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, welcome back. I think you know I do phone readings. I do private phone sessions where I work with you over the phone. I get a lot of people who have love life problems or money problems or people problems, and I can look into other people and know what they're thinking, and I can put good thoughts into their head, of course, all with permission from the people involved, and they don't know what I'm doing. They know at a deeper level. I'm also a medium. I can read the dead, read the living. I do mojos. I do personal mojos for you during phone readings. I do it all. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Just look under readings. You can reach me that way. And let's see. Oh, I have a rather new mojo, and it's MP3 that's on my website. It's a new one to put you to sleep. You know, people are always saying, oh, they listen to my shows on iPod all night so they can sleep, because I put them to sleep. So, on purpose, I made a mojo to put you to sleep. So you might want to check that out on GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. And as always, every Tuesday I choose a winner for a free 10-minute session with me. My goodness, I've been doing a lot of free readings lately. You guys have all been hearing your names. Some weeks I don't hear from anybody, and some days or weeks I get tons. The winner today of a free reading, a 10-minute reading. By the way you get free readings, or you get in the pot for them, is to be signed up for my newsletter, my postcards. They come out through email every once in a great while. I'm trying to make them more often because I want to stay in touch more. But the winner is, and the way you get to be a winner, go to my website, sign up for my newsletter postcard. It's where the blue headphones are. When you sign up, you also get the free mojo. And if you're already signed up and you haven't had the mojo free, sign up again. it'll get rid of the old one, I am told. Okay, winner today is Tina, Tina, Vanessian, V as in Valentine, Anesyan. And Tina, contact me for your free reading. It's valid through January 23rd, 2012. After that, no good anymore. You can reach me through my website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. So let's go on here. Let's look at the board and see what we've got here. Cindy, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Hello, Cindy.
Hi, Venus.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. How's the weather? How's the weather up there?
Very cold.
Very cold.
Yeah, very
brutally cold.
It was like minus 40 winds.
Wow. I'll go outside and sit in the sun for you after the show. How's that?
So nice.
All right, Cindy. Tell me what's going on, what you need to do.
Okay. I have a mom. She's 80.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 4 kids. My dad has passed away. 2 girls, 2 boys. And we have an ancestral home back home in India.
Oh, okay.
And that's where my mom is right now. She's gone there for a vacation. And I've kind of hinted, I've talked to her about it, like, who are you going to leave the house to? What happens when you pass away? This and that. And initially she had wanted to leave it to all 4 of us. And, you know, whoever wanted to go, have the key, open it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, we haven't, all 4 of us, we don't really get along with each other.
Oh, dear.
Because of our, you know, spouses, or just because we're jealous of each other. Actually, I had called you a few weeks ago about my sister, remember? The one that you said is jealous of me?
Yes, I do remember. I do remember that, yes.
Yeah. So then last year she was saying, okay, I might leave it to you sisters, both of you, and then leave the boys out. But
that would be a happy thing. Then you'd really have trouble.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would just want to know if you can go into her head and what she feels, what she wants to do, if she's even thinking about it, or she just.
What's her name?
Can I give you just like kind of a half name, because it's an unusual name, and I don't.
Okay, I'll take a half name.
Okay, M-A-S.
Mass.
Yeah.
Mass. Okay.
Yeah, M-A-S-T. Yeah.
M-A-S-P.
T is in Tom.
Mast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me look for Mast, and she's 80, and she's in India now, right?
She's there visiting, yeah.
Okay. All right. Mast in India. Let me run through you, Cindy. Okay, there you are. Okay, Mast in India. Okay. Hi there. I'm your daughter Cindy's friend. Can I come and talk to you, please? Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about the family home in India. And do you have any plans for it? Are you thinking about this after you pass over? Let's see how she feels about that. Because you know someday you will die. Someday we're all going to, sooner maybe than later, like the beings told me. Always have your bags packed, because you never know when the train's going to pull into the station. I think about that sometimes. All right, so I'm getting into Mast here. Mast. What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with this? Oh, I don't know what I want to do with this. She says they're just always going to argue no matter what I do. She thinks the girls would take better care of things, better care of it. She doesn't seem to think the boys are as responsible towards that. Has she said that to you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm saying to the mom, but you know this is going to cause trouble between all of them. They already have trouble. And if you leave the boys out, how are you going to make this all equal? What will you leave the boys? You need to make this all equal. Have you considered selling this or doing something else with it? Putting it in some kind of trust or doing something with it where they can all enjoy it if they wish to, but nobody controls it in the family. Maybe some other person would control this, because you don't want to leave more troubles behind than you have right now. So I'm pulling out of her. She doesn't know. She doesn't know what she wants to do with it. You all, those of you who are speaking together, may sit and try and figure out what you could do with it where everybody could benefit. Everybody needs to benefit here.
Well, no, like she's got property here in Canada that she's going to divide equally. It's just the house in India, it doesn't even fit into the will here, like it won't apply, like the Canadian will.
Yeah, but the boys are not going to be happy if it's not fair.
Well, no, but she's leaving them some land, like just farmland.
So you wouldn't get the land, you'd get the house?
Yeah.
Okay, it has to be fair. It's just what I keep hearing. It has to be fair.
I know she wants to be fair, but the house, like the upkeep and stuff, I know they're not going to want to chip in, and
Okay, that's what she's thinking, that the boys wouldn't do well with it. So, okay, if you can talk to your mother and everybody is agreeable that the boys get land and you girls get the house, that would be one way to do it. It's got to be fair. You're going to have more trouble. You'll probably have enough issues with a jealous sister.
Right.
You know?
Is she even thinking about, is she going to do something while she's there for us?
Well, let me ask that question. Okay, Mom, are you planning to do something while you're there about this house, about the property? I think she's talking to someone, a man, about it.
Oh, okay.
And she's getting his opinion. It may be somebody who knows about these things, like a lawyer type, but I wouldn't really call it that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you would call it in India.
Confidant, kind of somebody that can help her through the system, getting
that. Yeah, maybe something more like that. And she's asking what would be done and how and that kind of thing. There's a part of her, though, that doesn't really want to talk about this or speak about this at this point because she feels like it will push her over faster.
No, I mean, I don't want her to die. I love her dearly. I wish.
No, she doesn't think that you girls want her to. She's thinking that if she does more about it, it will mean something, and maybe it means she's going sooner. But, of course, that's putting your head in the old sand pile, and it's being in denial. But at the same time, I think she is talking to somebody about it. And so what I'm hearing is that you need to keep pressing her on this because, any of us could die at any time. When you're 80, it's more likely. And you don't want to be left with a mess.
Because she kept saying last time I said, she goes, are you and your sister even going to get along? She goes, you don't get along. How are you guys going to take care of a house, Well,
that's a question, isn't it?
Well, I said, well, it's not me. It's her. Like, she's got the problem with me. And
so, Well, something needs to be done with that. Some way the house either has to be sold and you guys divvy the money before she dies, or she puts it in some kind of legal thing where you both have access to it, but maybe not together, or somebody else decides issues and not you two girls. Something like that. That's about all I can.
I'm glad she's talking about it because I didn't ask for this time while she's there. You were on that. But maybe,
Well, I see this happening. It's either in her mind or it's happening. So I'm just saying, Mom, find out about this property and what you can do to put in your will after you're gone, or your trust or whatever. Do it now. Now. I must do it now. I must do it now. Okay?
All right.
All right, Cindy, thanks for the call. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Venus. Bye.
Excuse me. Got so excited over that I just choked on my own spit. All right, let's see. Well, how are we doing time-wise? Ooh. Excuse me. I want to do a mojo, but not while I'm coughing. So let's go to the board here and do another call. Becky, Novato, California. Becky, hello.
Hi, Venus. How are you?
Hi, Becky. Can you speak up, please?
Sure.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What are we going to do for you today? What's going on in your life?
I'm just curious if I should leave my job or if it would be a financial mistake because I'm not happy here.
Well, you're not happy there. What kind of job do you do?
Oh, it's kind of hard to explain. I do QC and...
You do what? You do what?
Quality control on pipettes, and I do packaging and sales. I do a variety of things.
What kind of company? What kind of company is it?
They make instruments to find cures for cancer.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they make the IVF machine.
You what?
They make the IVF machine, in vitro fertilization. The machine that can do that.
Okay, but obviously you're not doing anything that's interesting within the company.
No.
Becky, how old are you? What color's your hair?
Blonde and 47.
How long have you been there?
12 years.
Okay, Becky, I'm coming in. Becky. Let's go ahead and see what Becky's up to. Oh, you just feel like life is passing you by and you've been, like every year is like a step and the steps are going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Becky. The steps are not going up; they're all going perpendicular, horizontally. That's what I mean, horizontally. So you're just walking along this old steppy path, getting nowhere. You don't see any future. It's just like a drop-off point. And so it doesn't matter actually how much money you're making or whatever, and the fact that people really need work. You're still bored, and your life is passing. So let's see what they have to say to you. Becky, what do they have to say for Becky? What can she think about or do? There's something in your past that you really wanted to do and you haven't done. You always push it off to the side. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Okay, you need to go back in time, like maybe even into your kidhood. Something you were good at, something you used to think about, and you just put it aside early in life and you never did it.
Was it writing music?
Well, maybe it is.
I didn't think I was good at it.
Well, how can you get good at it if you're not doing it? It's like you have a natural ability, but you didn't let it grow big, and you put it off to the side, and you just took other things, and you just started walking in place, but getting nowhere. And it's like, I don't know why you didn't do anything. Maybe somebody or the culture, somebody in your family said, oh, you'll never get anywhere with that. And you thought, I better have something that'll pay for my way in life. And so you didn't. And so what they're telling you is you need to go back to that point. Doesn't mean you have to leave your job and do anything stupid like that. But you need to start building this thing of yours, this music or writing or both. You need to start doing it. Making music, writing, doing. It takes practice, one foot in front of the other. And they show it getting bigger and bigger and building upwards instead of outwards and flat. And once you start doing this, you're going to start feeling better about yourself and about your life. You're going to start feeling really happy and young again. Had you been feeling like you were getting kind of old and a little frazzly?
Just existing. Yeah.
Just existing.
Wasting time here.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll put in your time at your work, and you'll make it as much fun as you can and as interesting as you can, because you'll start playing games with it and looking for the interesting parts in the adventure. You'll see it with a new attitude while you're building this other part of your life that goes upward. And the more you do the music and the writing, or one or the other or both, the more things are going to build on top of the other, and the more things will start to happen. Do you sing? Or do you play?
I was in chorus, but I can't sing.
You what?
I was in chorus most of my life.
Well, I see you working. I see you doing something with music, like starting out with a church, or maybe fundraisers or fund places or something like that. And there's also writing that can come in if you want it to. And as you do it more and more, it's more like you may eventually make money doing this, being not loaned out, but what do you call it? People pay you to do certain things for certain functions, but it'll take you into a whole new world that's lots of fun, and where you meet interesting people. It's a whole new world, a whole new life. So start working on that, and don't put it off anymore, okay?
Okay. So
the time is now. Pardon me?
Mostly writing?
Whatever you choose. They say both or one. You can do either or both. So get started. No more excuses.
Okay.
Absolutely no more excuses. You know what I do? I decided I have to learn more about the computer and technology because it's just driving me crazy. So every day I read 20 or 30 minutes out of my latest book, which is Dummies for Blogging for Dummies and WordPress for Dummies, and I just make myself do it because, if you don't, you'll never get anywhere. But I said this before, there are people who say if you just spend 15 minutes a day on something, in 5 years you'll know more than anybody in the world about that subject, or certainly more than most of us. So get started! Get started today.
Okay,
all right, darling. Thank you, Becky. All right. I want to do a mojo, and I know I haven't gotten to everybody on the board, and I never do, and I'm sorry, but I send all of you still hanging on good luck, good love, good happiness to everybody out there. But I want to do a money mojo for everybody because it seems to be on your mind. Everybody wants more money. Everybody thinks they need more money from all good sources. This is for money, prosperity, abundance, from all good sources. You only want it to come from good sources. Good things bring this money into your life. So everybody stand up. Throw your arms in the air and get ready to tingle and sweat and feel the energies coming for you. And whatever thoughts or ideas you get because of this mojo, act on them. Think about acting on them. And also let yourself be a magnet and just collect whatever comes to you. Here we go. Woo, 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 woo. Bam, 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 bam. Woo, wow, 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 woo, woo, woo. Mojo, 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 ah, woo, woo, woo. Well, we stirred that money up. I hope you got a bunch of it. And guess what? It's almost time. I think it is time to close the show. So, I hope you're all feeling the energy. Keep your eyes open. Look for all opportunities. If you have something you've always wanted to do all your life, get out there and do it. Boom, boom. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show. I'll see you next week. Bye.